The air in the northern reaches of the Hunza Valley, high in the Karakoram Mountains, crackled with an ancient energy. Jagged peaks, their snow-capped summits piercing the azure sky, stood sentinel over a land steeped in myth and whispered legends. It was here, amidst the stark beauty and the echoing silence, that the tale of the Valley of Whispering Winds and the secrets held by dragons persisted through generations. Young Zion, a boy barely a man by the village standards, had grown up on these tales. Unlike the other young men of his village, who dreamed of tending apricot orchards or guiding mountaineers, Zion's heart thrummed with the lore of the dragons. Not the fire-breathing beasts of fiery western tales, but creatures of immense wisdom and serene power, guardians of the valley's hidden heart. The elders spoke of them in hushed tones, saying they resided in a realm accessible only to those with a pure heart and a listening spirit, a place where the dragons keep their secrets. One unusually harsh winter, the valley was gripped by a relentless cold. The snow fell in thick blankets, isolating villages and threatening the meager livestock. A creeping sickness, marked by a persistent cough and debilitating fatigue, began to spread, particularly among the children. Desperate, the village elders convened, their faces etched with worry. The traditional remedies seemed ineffective, and the isolation prevented them from seeking help from distant settlements. Zion, witnessing the suffering of his community, felt a familiar pull, the whisper of the ancient stories. He remembered the legends spoke of the dragons possessing knowledge of healing herbs and the secrets of the earth's vitality. Ignoring the cautious warnings of the elders, who feared disturbing the mythical creatures, Zion resolved to seek the legendary dragon realm. Armed with a tattered map sketched by his late grandfather, a pouch of dried apricots, and an unshakable belief, Zion set off into the frozen wilderness. The biting wind howled like a hungry wolf, and the snowdrifts tested his endurance. He followed the cryptic landmarks on the map, a rock formation resembling a sleeping giant, a spring whose water tasted of iron, and a grove of ancient juniper trees twisted by time and wind. Days blurred into a relentless cycle of walking, climbing, and seeking shelter. Doubt gnawed at him. Were the stories just fanciful tales? Was he chasing a ghost of a legend while his village suffered? Yet, the deeper he ventured into the heart of the mountains, the stronger the feeling grew. A subtle hum in the air, a fleeting glimpse of iridescent scales against the snow, a profound sense of ancient presence. Finally, following a narrow ice-covered pass that the map vaguely marked as the Dragon's Tooth, Zion found himself in a hidden valley. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. The air was warmer here, sheltered from the biting winds. Strange, luminous flora bloomed amidst the snow, casting an ethereal glow. And in the center of the valley, bathed in the soft light filtering through the swirling mist, was a colossal cavern, its entrance adorned with intricate carvings that seemed to writhe and shift in his vision. Hesitantly, Zion approached the cavern. The silence here was profound, broken only by the gentle dripping of melting ice. He could feel the weight of centuries, the presence of immense power. He closed his eyes, focusing his heart, remembering the tales of purity and a listening spirit. Then he spoke, his voice trembling slightly in the vast stillness. "Oh, ancient ones," he called out, his words echoing in the cavern's depths. "My village suffers. A cold sickness grips our children. The old remedies fail. We have come seeking wisdom, seeking a way to heal our people." For a long moment, there was only silence. Zion's hope began to dwindle. Perhaps he had been foolish. Perhaps the legends were just stories. Then, a low rumble resonated from within the cavern, a sound that vibrated through the very ground beneath his feet. Slowly, majestically, a creature emerged from the shadows. It was a dragon, but not of fire and fury. Its scales shimmered with all the colors of a twilight sky, its eyes glowed with an ancient gentle light, and its movements were fluid and graceful. It exuded an aura of immense wisdom and quiet power. More dragons followed, each unique in its coloration and subtle bearing, but all radiating the same profound serenity. They regarded Zion with an ancient knowing, their gazes piercing but not unkind. One of the dragons, whose scales held the hues of jade and emerald, lowered its massive head towards Zion. A voice, not of spoken words but of pure thought, resonated in his mind. "Your heart is true, young one. Your concern for your people is genuine. We have watched your journey." Zion, though awestruck, found his voice. He reiterated his plea, describing the sickness that plagued his village. The jade dragon inclined its head again. "The sickness comes from an imbalance. The harsh winter has disturbed the earth's energies. The cure lies in the sun petal bloom, which grows in the high meadows beyond the frozen waterfall. Brew its petals with the water that flows from the heart of the glacier. It will restore the balance. The dragon then shared other subtle insights with Zion. The importance of respecting the flow of the mountain streams, the properties of certain local herbs for strengthening immunity, and the need for patience and resilience in the face of hardship. They spoke not just of the immediate ailment, but of the interconnectedness of all things in the valley. As dawn approached, painting the snow-capped peaks in hues of gold and rose, the dragons retreated back into their cavern. The jade dragon left a single perfectly formed sun petal bloom at Zion's feet, its petals radiating a gentle warmth. With a heart filled with gratitude and a renewed sense of hope, Zion began his journey back to Soren. The sun petal, carefully protected, seemed to glow with an inner light. He followed the dragon's instructions, gathering pure glacial water. Upon his return, the villagers were astonished to see him alive, let alone bearing a miraculous cure. Following Zion's instructions, the sun petal was brewed into a potent tea with the glacial water. Slowly but surely, those afflicted with the sickness began to recover. The cough subsided, the fatigue lifted, and the rosy hue returned to the children's cheeks. The harsh winter eventually gave way to a vibrant spring. The valley, seemingly responding to the renewed health of its people, burst forth with life. The villagers looked at Zion with a mixture of awe and respect. He was no longer just a boy who dreamed of legends, but the one who had dared to seek the truth behind them and in doing so, had saved their community. Zion never revealed the exact location of the dragon realm, respecting the ancient pact of secrecy. But he carried the dragon's wisdom in his heart, understanding that the true secrets were not just about healing, but about listening to the subtle whispers of the world, respecting the delicate balance of nature, and acting with a pure and compassionate heart. And so, the legend of the Valley of Whispering Winds and the dragons who kept their secrets lived on, intertwined with the story of the boy who dared to listen.